I open my heart and mind to be aware. I am constantly setting standards for how others will see me and treat me. As you move into the day, be aware of how you treat yourself. As you shower or bathe, be aware of how you handle your body. Are you gentle or are you rough? As you eat your meals today, be aware of how much time, energy, and attention you give to nourishing yourself. When it comes to self-nurturing, are you attentively conscious? Are you unconsciously rushed? Be aware of what you do to and for yourself, because you set the standard for others. Be aware of how you handle your mind. When you talk to yourself, do you yell or scream? When you question yourself, do you accuse? Do you allow yourself the pleasure of a complete thought, or do you cut your thoughts off with judgments? Just be aware of how you think what you think. You don't have to do anything about it right now. Be aware of how you handle your soul. Do you give yourself permission to ask what you need to know? When you do not keep the commitments you make to yourself, are you understanding? Are you the merciless rough rider who rarely cuts yourself any slack? How do you handle yourself in crisis? Just be aware. It's not necessary to do anything about it right now. However, as you grow in your awareness of how you treat yourself, you will probably become aware of the example you have set for others. You may realize that the time has come to set a new example. Until today, you may not have been aware of how unkind, impatient, unsupportive, critical, angry, frustrated, and rough you can be with yourself. Just for today, be aware of how you treat yourself. Remember, awareness is the first step toward change. Today, I am devoted to becoming more aware of how I am with myself. Instantly reading this, it reminds me of down through the years some of the boundaries that I have set with myself. Sometimes, we have to do that. Like, we live in a time where boundaries is a big topic. Generationally, is something that was not taught to many of us, especially those of us who grew up in oppression or poverty in any way. But now we're starting to learn more about what it is to have boundaries, to set boundaries, to communicate boundaries, to maintain boundaries. And most of that talk is about having boundaries as it relates to your relationships with other people. But this devotional today is us focusing on setting boundaries with ourselves. And one of the boundaries that I've set for myself from a very self-loving and self-honoring place is, it may seem minuscule to some, but it's a big deal to me, and that's not holding my bladder. I don't care what's going on. If I got to use the restroom, that's what I'm doing. And I hold that boundary even with myself first and foremost, because there have been so many times I'm in the bed and I got to go to the restroom, and I lay there and I don't want to get up, and I tell myself, honor your body. That's a boundary for me, to honor my body. As soon as I come into the awareness that I'm not honoring my body by laying there being lazy and not getting up to release my bladder, that I am crossing my own boundary, and I get up and I go honor myself. And I require that of others as well. So in any situation I find myself in, I make sure to not only honor myself in that way, but also make sure that anybody in my care governs themselves according to that as well. So I hope this message found y'all well. If it did not find you well, I hope it leaves you well. I was just providing an example of just how to hold boundaries against yourself, or with yourself, not against yourself, but there's several ways that shows up in our lives. Until next time, y'all. Peace.